I love you. Welcome back, everybody, to Green and Peace. I'm just blowing it. Welcome back, everybody. I'm the Green Traveler from Gorsh. I forgot. I was just like, how do I open this? I'll just open it.
I am the Faceless Leode. Thanks for joining us again here on the couch. I think that's something you usually say.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, this
episode
is
200,
Faceless.
and I just lost it all.
On the couch. It's like getting close to 300, I think. Already.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
We're not doing anything until like either 500, right? That's the big one. That's when we like.
I guess so.
Have a big affair.
We'll announce that we were, I don't know, that I was secretly a space alien and that you were secretly an amorphous blob person.
So, just so you know, I lost all of that. I didn't catch
That's
a
fine.
single word.
It probably wasn't very good. So
I'm keeping it all in there though because it's funny. We're separated again by the internet. Lag is real. Lag is happening.
Yeah,
and we're powering through, babies. We're gonna do it. All you lovely tater tots and couch potatoes and die couch cartoffelins.
Yeah, I was going to correct you on the pronunciation, then I remembered I failed German. So,
Die Couch Kartoffeln.
Oh, why'd I make it that way? But thank you, Delma.
That's true. Now, if you're confused by those monikers and nicknames, you listeners, you're just is Tater Tots a level? Is that an actual level to make?
It's Booster Seat Tater Tots, yep.
Okay, so then our normal listeners, the ones who are freeloading right now, I mean, I love you just as much as all of you.
Potatoes.
But I'm just saying that the ones who aren't patrons, the ones who have not gone to patreon.com/greenandfaceless, you're just potatoes. You're here with us. We're all just sitting on a couch. It's nice. It's lovely.
But if you want to be real couch
be a
tater
tot.
You could be a Booster Seat Tater Tot and vote on episodes. You can. But if you want to be a real couch potato, then you can make recommendations too and listen to Bangers and Hash, which is a new show that we do now.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun over there. So we just that's out of the way. We got it. We got our obligated product placement out of the way. Go check it out. We love you all. Thank you very much. But here we are with two very exciting movies. We got some new films. This is a Stairgo, right? That's what we're titling it?
Yeah, it's a Stairgo. A Disney Stairgo.
It's been a while since we've had a Stairgo. Yeah. Yeah, do you see their... Which Shield product do you see of theirs? Do you see their... We need to make the Hocus Pocus money? Or do you see their continuation of the... We need to make live-action remakes of all of our good animated films for whatever fucking reason? Which one do you watch? We're here to answer that question.
So, okay. Hocus Pocus 2. I asked Sarah, why didn't they wait until next year to do it? Because then it would be the 20-year anniversary. Because the first one came out in 93. That would make sense.
Yeah, the 19 is a more powerful and important number.
That's what I said. I said maybe Stephen King was involved. And she said, well, I do know that 2020 was supposed to be the last full moon, the most recent full moon on Halloween. And the spell says it has to be a full moon. And I think that's what it was in 93, too.
Oh, shit.
So I think it was supposed to come out in 2020, but got delayed, obviously.
That makes sense.
Because even magic is affected by the pandemic. Let's be honest.
It ruined everything. Man. But my honest question was, did the original one need a sequel?
No.
And especially after so long, with the only thing I remember coming out in between those being a really crappy special.
I don't even remember.
It was not good in my opinion. But at the same time, I'm not a huge, we mentioned it when we discussed Hocus Pocus. I'm not like a crazy big fangirl of the original Hocus Pocus movie. I watched it, I think, the first time when we reviewed it. I don't remember. Yeah. I think maybe I watched it beforehand. I can't remember. But yeah, so I'm not the target audience for a sequel. People mention a Hocus Pocus sequel. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I just now started watching it every Halloween because it's a fun film. But like, I'm not like crazy nostalgic. I'm not nostalgic with it because it wasn't part of my childhood. So
I only watched it a few times more than you, really. But it is a classic, and I don't think that it needed this sequel. This sequel didn't really add anything. I have a suggestion that I'll mention in my closing statements, that is, where that I think there's some opportunity here. But
that's fair. That's fair.
This movie, all it had to be was the return of the Sanderson sisters and letting these three actors play these characters that they loved. And it did do that. But that's about, I feel like, all it did. There were some parts where I had a lot of fun with it, but maybe we should talk about what happens in the film.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that I enjoyed the most was the introduction. The first, like, 5 minutes. The young versions that was good.
Of themselves.
And if the film had continued in that direction, following the version of those characters, because it begins with them as kids, as teenagers.
Right.
I guess they're supposed to be teenagers. Maybe that's what teenagers look like nowadays. I don't remember.
I think they're preteens. Yeah, I think they're supposed to be pretty young.
Well, I think because I thought Winifred, I thought it was her like 16th birthday or whatever, right?
Was it? It might have been Winifred's, but the other two are much younger than them. Well, at the very least, I feel like young Sarah was maybe 10.
I just found it. Yeah, they make the acquaintance of Mother Witch, who gifts Winifred her magic book for her 16th birthday. So, Winifred's supposed to be a teen. I assume that actor's a teen.
Mary might be as well. I would say yes. But anyways, young Winifred is played by Taylor Henderson, and they give her the fake teeth to look like older Winifred. Young Mary is played by Nina Kitchen. Like, something happens midway through that she starts doing the weird mouth gag that the older character does. And then young Sarah is played by Juju Journey Brenner. And and she's very young. And when they do this like little circle thing, like it's like a spell that they didn't know was a spell. They say, "Think soothing thoughts," and they go around giving soothing thoughts. And Winifred says something kind of evil, and Mary says something creepy, and then Sarah says, "Thoughts soothing." And I thought, they nailed what that character's supposed to be.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I enjoyed the kids. I thought they were great, and I was like, if this is the movie, I'm all right with this. This is kind of funny.
That would have been fun.
Like, it's an interesting idea to look at, at them as a younger, as kids or as teenagers or whatever, and then it cuts immediately to modern day where the actual story takes place, and I was immediately like, oh.
Before that happens, that story that happens with them, though, that, I guess, first act or prologue, whatever you want to call it, they are banished from Salem by Reverend Trask, and then when they are finally summoned, the guy who plays Reverend Trask, Tony Hall, is also playing the mayor. So they're like, it must be a descendant. I forget what his name is besides Mr. Mayor Trask.
Jeffrey?
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and Tony Hale, of course, is, great in, Arrested Development and so much other things. Like,
when I saw him as Reverend Trask, I could not place him. I had to see him as the mayor.
I did not recognize him. Yeah. It
was really funny.
Really good character work.
Yeah, definitely. I thought the mayor was a cute character too, but also a lot zanier than most of the characters, besides maybe Gilbert.
The mayor. The mayor was just a run-of-the-mill Tony Hale character. Like, he definitely felt a little off-kilter with the rest of the movie. Yeah. But I mean, a lot of the movie just felt off-kilter, so, like, it's fine. He fit the par of this film, I guess.
Yeah. I would say that I think I maybe liked it better than our adult watch of Halloween Town. that ruined that movie for me pretty bad. But
yeah, I forgot.
This movie, I think might be a little bit better than that still. But we follow, for the majority of the movie, the teenagers of the modern time, which is Becca is the main character, played by Whitney Peak, and she has a best friend, Izzy, played by Belisa Escobedo. And they are also... They used to be best friends with the mayor's daughter, Cassie, played by Lilia Buckingham. But she's... like, there's some tension and distance that's been growing between them ever since she's been dating Mike. It's Mike, right, that she's dating?
I think so. That sounds right.
Yeah, and that's Froy Gutierrez. I'm sorry. I know I said that wrong. But Mike...
Gutierrez?
Thank you. Jesus. I took Spanish, too. And now you know why I jumped into German in the first place, because I was no good at Spanish. So, anyways, he is just the dumbest boy.
He really is. He really is.
And I kind of really love it at this. Like, it's one of the more endearing parts.
Yeah. Because it's like, there's just one moment where he's just like, everybody's down and out. They're all like really exhausted, I'll say, and scared. And somebody points out that he's just an asshole. And he's like, what? I am?
Yeah, you make fun of us all the time.
Appreciation to people.
I was just making conversation. Oh, man. They, like, broke him. It was so funny.
They really did. His whole perception of the world has just flipped. It really was a good moment. I was like, all right.
I ended up liking Mike quite a bit. Honestly, from the first scene, he just was, like, Freud did a really good job of playing the dumb clown character. Yeah. Which, is pretty much Sarah's character, too, Sarah Sanderson. Which, the adult versions, Winifred is Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Mary is Kathy Najimy. I don't remember how to say it.
I think Najimy.
So, they're all back, and, you could tell that they're loving it, at the very least. I feel like they are. But
I feel like they were having fun, but I don't feel like they really wanted to be there.
Maybe. At the very least, there's definitely some inconsistencies in the film where I think they just said, okay, go in here and you guys ad-lib. And when you switch to the other angle, there's more dialogue, which is similar to the previous dialogue, but a little bit different. For example, they go to CVS or Walgreens and they say, this isn't your mother's apothecary. And then they switch angles and says, no, not your father's apothecary. It's like, okay. And I think it's both Bette Midler that says both lines. So, yeah, there's definitely a lot of that. There's a lot of... The editing is really strange.
Another thing I did not like was the singing in this one. Because, like, it just comes out of left field, and it really just felt like I feel like they did the first cut, and there was no music at all. And they showed it, and the producers were like, now hold on a second, there's no music in this. There's gotta be music. That's in the first one. They gotta sing. And so he was just like, oh, okay. And so then they have like a couple of singing moments that they just like shoehorned into there, and they're like, "Oh, okay, now it's in there. Now it's good. Yes,
now it's good."
And it's
now
like,
it's good.
I don't
but
know,
also, could they fly on Roombas?
Oh yeah, that'd be funny. Yeah, I like that. Like they have to like use modern day cleaning equipment. I like that. That's smart. And the director's just like, fuck.
They were at a CVS, right? And
Walgreens.
Winifred found a broom, a Walgreens, whatever. They were there. Winifred found a broom there.
Yeah.
Why wasn't there more brooms in stock? I don't understand.
I think what did Sarah find? Sarah was on a broom too, right?
She was on a Swiffer mop.
A Swiffer, that's right. Yeah.
In fact, it
stupid.
shot like bubbles out behind it. I hated that. There was one part with the Roombas that I liked, and that was the last part with them.
They came into the story. They affected the story.
They came into the story. I thought it was funny. Everything other than that, I thought was stupid as hell.
Well, it was also dumb just because of how she was like floating on them, because it looked like Kathy Najimy was about to fall off of them at any possible moment, because it looked like she was just teetering on some wires. Like her hands were just held up, and she's just like, "Oh fuck," you know. It's like, I don't know. It looked really weird. But it's not for me. I gotta strongly stress it whenever I talk about this film, because I've had a lot of people ask me what I thought about it. And the first thing I've told all of them is, I have to admit, it's not for me. This isn't a film for me. This is one of those like critique movies where I just had to take a step back and be like, I knew I wasn't gonna have all the fun with this. But is it worth it for everyone else? And that's the thing. Is like I think the Roomba and the Swiffer, I think people will find fun, like humor out of it. I think they will laugh at it because it is funny. I do too.
I did laugh at it, but because I thought it was just way too ridiculous, and also the special effects are awful in that film. And this movie had to have a good budget. Like I think what you said happened. There was a lot of changes made.
Yeah.
In post.
I think somebody walked on in and was just like, hey, now hold on a second. We got to change everything here. Dude, Wikipedia doesn't even show what its budget was.
Jeez.
Conspiracy, I'm calling it.
Anyhow, let's bring in Gilbert. Gilbert owns a magic shop, which is in the Sanderson sisters' house. And he's played by Sam Richardson, and he gifts a magical candle that he made himself to Becca for her 16th birthday, for her awakening, because that's when witches awaken their powers. And so they go out to their special place in the Forbidden Woods, which is a sacred place for witches, unbeknownst to this trio. And they light the candle, and because it's Halloween and and she's a virgin and the full moon's out, she summons the Sanderson sisters back. And they again have a one night until the sunrise to devour the souls of children to survive. There we go.
Yep.
And then they immediately break into song, and that was that song I minded a little bit less, even though it wasn't a good song, because they're excited to have broken out, and there's these fun interjections from Becca and Izzy while it's going on. Like they're like, are they singing? What the fuck's going on?
It's not bad. It's just weird.
It felt like it should have been in the Broadway version of this.
Right. Yeah.
It was weird.
It's just, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. It's just, I gotta back off of it and be like, not for me. What I did love, the stuff I did enjoy, I'll say this. I loved the beginning. I thought the kids were fun. I think that was a very interesting idea, and I was like, oh, more of that, please. That'd be fun. More of them as kids. I even though the ending is very wishy-washy, I do appreciate the message. I thought it was dumb as hell, but I appreciated the message.
It was a bit silly, but I also, I did think that Bette Midler did the best that she could with the script that she was given. She put a lot of emotion into it, and I appreciate that. But it was kind of silly. It was a 180 for the character, a complete 180.
Oh, huge 180. Made no fucking sense. Yeah. Not at all for the movie.
Yeah.
And
180, almost a 360. Maybe it was a 360. Like she went back to her youth, and that's what they're. She's like, oh, it's always been about.
Ooh,
them. Yeah,
it's full circle. I like it. You're making it work now. Nice. You're making. Yeah, I like it. Good job. I like. Way to go. That's what we do here. We find the positives here on Green and Faceless.
That's right, and plenty of the negatives.
And plenty of the What I really loved, though, I'm getting there.
Give me the loves.
The one thing I really enjoyed was the one cast member we haven't talked about yet, who is Doug Jones playing William Billy Butcherson.
Oh, right. Yes.
He's a dead corpse. He's raised from the grave to cast this a specific spell. He's a former lover of Winifred's, or so she says, or so history says.
She says, or so history says. Yeah, even when he goes to contradict it, Gilbert's like, "No, everybody knows that you dated her," and he's like, one kiss in the Glen or whatever."
Yeah, he was just like, "That's it. It was nothing more than that." Oh, poor guy. And he's like, that's the stuff I loved. I loved the humor with Billy, and mainly because I love Doug Jones. I've been a huge fan of Doug Jones since Pan's Labyrinth, when he was the creepy eye hand thing. He was also the amphibious man in Shape of Water, and Abe from Hellboy. That was him.
Yep, that was him.
He's done a lot of other stuff.
I didn't know that he did both. So basically Guillermo just wanted to give him a role just for him. That's where the Shape of Water came from.
He just looks good as an amphibious man.
Yes, he is. He does have a very unique, gaunt face.
And I mean, I just remembered when I saw him in, I think it's Pan's Labyrinth, right? Isn't that the one where he has the eyes in his hands?
Yes.
And it's really creepy. Like, I remember looking that actor up because I really loved how well he acted with his fucking hands. Like, it really felt like those things fucking saw you. And, it's just like, he's been a great character actor in regards to, creepy monsters and stuff. And this one, he actually got to fucking speak. And he got to deliver hilarious lines. And he was great. And I fucking loved it. You nailed it, Doug Jones. I fucking love you, man. Shout out to that guy.
It was a silly role, though. There's this whole bit where him and Billy go... he is Billy, rather. And Gilbert go to, the carnival. And they're trying to find the ingredients for this potion. It's ridiculous.
I think they have, a little friendship that starts to brew.
Yes.
But it's also, betrayed immediately.
Yeah.
But my closing statement on it is that it's not for me. I fully acknowledge that. I think the people who enjoy Hocus Pocus will enjoy this one. And so, go ahead, watch it, enjoy it. It probably won't live up to the original for you. You might be a little, let down, but, you'll still enjoy it, I think. I don't think many people will be disappointed by it. Because you get everything you want. I wasn't
necessarily disappointed. I thought it was better than it could have been. That's for sure. But I also thought it could have been better. It's your closing statement, not mine.
You're okay. But I just give it 2.5 stars. It's not for me. It was exactly what I thought it would be. And that's fine. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. So I guess I give it a face.
It's okay.
There's some things that I enjoyed from it. But there was a lot that I thought was just kind of silly and unnecessary. They really try to pull for the gags in this one. And I just thought, the jokes in the old one were so good. Could just done similar humor, which they did. But they just threw a whole bunch of stuff on top of it. Bless you, bless you, bless you. And with all the God's powers in all the universes. So I do want to say that I think there's an opportunity with the 3 young characters that were introduced in the modern times.
Right.
But you gave me an idea that kind of furthered on this idea. What I was going to suggest is Disney Plus could very easily make a show with these 3 teens and their new coven. And, do a modern witch thing. That almost always sells. If they get good writing behind it, It could work.
Yeah, it's just like Young Charmed.
Could double... Yeah, like Young Charmed, exactly. But they could double up the story and tell it side by side in Old Salem with the Sanderson sisters as those young actors. I think that could work too.
Yeah, I think so. Hire us, Disney.
Hire us, content. Disney. We're smart thinkers.
Yeah, we'll shill out for you.
You can have my ideas for Mun-Muns. I need the Mun-Muns. Give me the Mun-Muns.
Dude, those sneezes gave me instant headaches. That was crazy.
I am so sorry. Well, let's take a soda pop break then.
Let's take it.
Yeah, maybe you'll be able to help your head a little bit. All right,
we'll be right back. Take some caffeine to the noggin. I love you. You know what pisses me off the most about the Super Mario Bros. Trailer?
I actually haven't checked it out yet.
What was that? You haven't watched it yet?
I haven't watched it yet. I've
man, it's awful.
It while doom scrolling.
It's awful, man. It's awful. The first half is beautiful. I love the first half of that trailer because it's just Bowser being Bowser and it's Jack Black as Bowser and that's fucking great. But then Chris Pine comes in and he's he doesn't have a voice. He's just Chris Pine, and it's just that just seems weird coming out of Mario. Sorry, yeah, Chris Pratt. No, you're right. I get them mixed up. They're sort of in the same slot because it's just crispy names. Crispy names. They're crispy names.
Crispy.
They're tater tots. We never knew they were patrons all along.
That would be nice, but they better be in the couch cartoffel.
Yeah, right. You can afford it. Fucking stars. No, what pisses me off the most about that trailer, though, is at the very end of it, just to spoil this, Mario says, Mushroom Kingdom, here we come. And I'm like, motherfuckers, it's Mario. It should be Mushroom Kingdom, let's go.
Yeah.
It pisses me off. Or if they're not going to do the accent, he should still say, let's go. Maybe just do it as the gamers do. Mushroom Kingdom, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Something. I don't know, it's just...
He could even go, let's go. That seems like a new liar.
Let's go. No, what also pisses me off is Pinocchio. We're back, right? I assumed. I assume we're back.
Yeah.
I'm keeping that in, right? Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe.
But Pinocchio. Not to be confused with the other Pinocchio movie coming out this year. Guillermo del Toro is also doing his own Pinocchio adaptation. I think his is animated, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
I only assume that because this one is titled Pinocchio 2022 live action film on Wikipedia. It's I assume Guillermo's must be animated. Because it's also coming out this year, I believe. I think it's coming out in December or something.
Bold, Guillermo. Bold.
Very bold. Actually, I want to find out. I want to find out while we're here.
Maybe Pinocchio, Disney didn't have very much faith in this project, and they thought if they put it out the same year, sneak it out the same year, this high-end movie's out, then they could get away with it, and maybe even people would confuse it for their movie.
It looks so adorable. I just see its poster, and I'm like, oh, that's their Pinocchio? It looks so cute. Guillermo del Toro, you're such a wonderful man. I assume it's going to be great. I assume it's going to do what this one could not do, which is deliver upon the story in some new fashion. Because this one just feels so fucking stale.
Yeah, it's claymation-y.
Yeah, the Guillermo's is, yes. Guillermo's looks awesome. The one we're talking about today, Robert Zemeckis', that's not... Yeah, definitely. Robert Zemeckis' though is not claymation. Robert Zemeckis' live action. It's the next. I put down in my notes. It's the next victim in Disney's greedy remake madness, because they've been remaking all their animations as live actions, but they're doing it in the weird way, which is that they're still mostly animated. And there are parts of this movie that really bother me.
Lion King. Lion King pissed me off so much that they kept on calling it Lion King live action. It's like, there's not a single live thing in there. Not even the backdrops. You guys made them on the computer. It's animated.
Right. It's frustrating, man. I feel your frustration. It's very annoying. And I haven't really enjoyed. I've enjoyed some of them. That's true. There are some of them that I've enjoyed.
Yeah.
But it's enjoyed with an asterisk. It's an enjoyed where it's like, I liked it.
This kind of movie.
Most likely, I'm most likely going to watch the original instead and forget this one ever existed. That's the asterisk. Some of them have been absolutely trash, but this one I will say, since we're not talking about those other ones, this one is just, it's fine, asterisk. It's fine, but I'm going to forget about it and just watch the fucking animation, because it's literally just the fucking animation. It doesn't bring anything new except for one fucking character. And she's wonderful. She's actually the only thing I enjoyed about this.
Sabine, and also, what's the actual character's name?
Fabiana.
Yeah. Sabine, so Fabiana works for Shamboli and is one of the puppeteers. And she controls Sabina.
Yeah, she used to be a ballerina.
Pinocchio's in love with.
Did she broke her leg or something? Yeah, I don't know.
She's wearing.
The movie doesn't spend enough time on her. She's the only thing I fucking cared about, because she's the only thing that felt different. Everything else is just like a frame for frame remake.
Yeah, they updated some things. I like the Blue Fairy. I thought they were slightly more of a character portrayed by Cynthia Erivo. And I didn't dislike Tom Hanks as Geppetto. I didn't hate the acting. The acting's actually good. Even Pinocchio, he's voiced by Benjamin Evan Ainsworth. That's good. He does a good job. Twice in the same week.
And Jiminy Cricket is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I quite enjoyed Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Jiminy Cricket. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Another thing I loved, trying to keep the positivity of the last movie we talked about, is whenever Jiminy jumps, they had a little cricket sound. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was cute. I really like that addition.
So they also, I thought there's some small things that I loved, small little details that they added on, which basically just made it a longer movie. And some of that is giving Geppetto more of a backstory. He had a wife and a son. And he would always make his wife a cuckoo clock. And then, now they're both gone. His son, I don't know, some way, somehow passed away. And so did his wife, who knows how long ago. But people are trying to buy his beautiful cuckoo clocks, but he won't part with them.
I do like that. It gives a sad credence to why he has so many fucking clocks on the wall. I did appreciate that. That was nice. Yeah.
It was very nice. And I thought that really, I don't know. I thought that they could have played on that a little bit more. I don't want to give away what happens with that, because it really is only one other plot point. But I wish that there was a little bit more to that. They could have had, Pinocchio break one. All the mischief that Pinocchio gets in is the exact same mischief that he gets in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. In the original. Yeah, and it's they have the classic, Geppetto sells all of the clocks so he can buy a boat to go find Pinocchio. Okay. So, that is the only thing they add to it.
That was the other plot point, yeah.
Yeah, and it's still not, it doesn't add, there should have been one more, there should have been something in between, as you said, he should break one or something,
Yeah, and then maybe Geppetto makes Pinocchio one after that, like to say, "Hey, I'm sorry. Like this one's yours. Let's put it over the desk that you sleep on, or whatever." Oh, he sleeps in a drawer. Yeah. That's right. He sleeps in a drawer next to Geppetto's bed.
And if you don't know the story of Pinocchio, real quick, Geppetto wishes upon a star, puts the spirit of a real boy into a wooden puppet. Not necessarily, but fuck it. That's how it goes here. And boy, real dumb. Boy doesn't have a conscience. He's just like, I'm a wooden toy. He's like, he's got to figure shit out. He's got to learn. He's got to learn.
Yes, he does.
But yeah, Blue Fairy assigns Jiminy Cricket to be the boy's conscience. And Jiminy thinks he's up to the task, but he's kind of a bad conscience, let's be fucking honest. Like, he sleeps in day one.
That's true. He did sleep in day one. But every time from there, he's trying to catch up. It's kind of funny, yeah. Like, I never really thought about it this way until right now, but the story with the cricket being the conscience lagging behind this little boy kind of is a great metaphor for a person growing up and learning right from wrong for themselves. Like, the little voice that tells you maybe you shouldn't do that, it does get louder and louder. It gets closer and closer, and then you kind of become friends with it at a certain point because you're like, yeah, I want to be a good person. So yeah. I never really thought of it that way, and I'm sure that that's the intention that Walt Disney had anyways. Jiminy Cricket's not necessarily the conscience in the book, right? He just gets smashed.
I don't think so. He is. There is a cricket character, but he's not. Yeah, exactly. And that's one exciting thing about Guillermo del Toro's is his is going to be about the book, like not so much the Disney parody. It's more off of that Carlo Collodi book. So that's what it's going to do. It's going to bring something new to the table. I hope.
Yes.
We're going to see a different take on things. We've seen the
same version, basically. The Disney version in every single interpretation since the 40s.
It's always the same, and this one's no better because right after Jiminy's assigned, he's late on day one. Pinocchio goes out, gets a little bit corrupted by Honest John, voiced by Keegan-Michael Key, and who's with Honest John? What's the other guy's name?
I don't think that he said anything. I think it's Hector.
Right, Hector. He's a cat, something like that, right? He's a silly silent cat.
Yeah. But I don't remember. But they didn't see. I don't think they sang An Actor's Life for Me, and that's the best part of Honest John. But truly, though, Keegan-Michael Key was the perfect voice. Oh, he did? Okay, well, whatever.
Yeah.
I think they picked the right casting, though, for Honest John, because the voice is exactly as I remember the cartoon, to be frank. And it's just Keegan-Michael Key being Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah, it is wonderful. And, he corrupts Pinocchio enough that when Jiminy comes back in there and writes Pinocchio, and Pinocchio is scolded by society, he immediately turns right back to Honest John and being like, "Okay, I'll try your method now."
Yeah,
and that's when he meets Stromboli and gets fucked into a world of hurt when he learns that the real world is tough, man. And Geppetto, not knowing where Pinocchio went, Geppetto gets lost trying to find him. Yeah, that's the story. If you most likely have seen Pinocchio, so this one. If you enjoy Pinocchio so much and just want to see the exact same story in the exact same way, here you go. This one it's right up your boat. You'll be really proud.
It's right up your alley. If you love the Disney Pinocchio, want to see it again. Even the same animation on the character. Like, they didn't change the character design at all.
Nope.
Why? Nope. I don't know. It's really he could have looked like Jonathan Taylor Thomas, but they didn't do that.
Yeah. It literally was a we are on a limited budget from COVID and everything. What's something quick and easy we can make? Oh, a frame-for-frame remake of Pinocchio. Let's do it. And Robert Zemeckis, he always delivers, so we're going to hire him. And you know who always accompanies Robert Zemeckis for every project? That's Tom Hanks. That's right, man. So we're bringing him back.
Yep. And Tom's all over
Except
this.
for Back to the Future. He was not part of that.
Oh, yeah, that's true. He was there. He's probably doing something else.
That was the reason I think... Oh, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That was the one. He was supposed to be in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but he turned it down. And then after, I think it was that one, where after that he was like, all right, whenever Robert Zemeckis offers me a script, I'm saying yes from now on.
Oh, so that's how you got roped in. Okay. So, Luke Evans is in this, I guess.
Oh, yeah, really? Who was he?
The coach driver. Oh, yeah, for the, to Paradise Island. He was
Pleasure Island.
Kids.
Yeah, Pleasure Island. Yeah. You know, I did actually enjoy Pleasure Island. I thought that carried enough creep factor, like, you know. Yeah. Because that's got to be spooky, and they did a good job. I like the creepy guy coming up from under the docks to offer them food and drink or whatever. I thought that was kind of really eerie, and I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah,
but
it kind of reminded me of an inside joke for us, Beals Deals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sure did. There's no explanation for that. You'll just have to wonder, Potatoes.
Nope.
Sorry.
Someday it might be part of a D&D show. Who knows?
Who knows? All right.
No, I'm ready for closing statements on Pinocchio.
It's the same story. How much can we actually say about it? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, and for that reason, it feels pretty heartless, pretty soulless. I still give it 2.5 stars because
not bad.
It's just the exact same story. It still works.
Right.
You know, if you haven't seen the original Pinocchio, and you're like, if you wanted to, like, maybe you want to be like, I want to get my kids to watch it, but they don't really sit down for the older animations. Right. Well, here you go. This is an option for you. You know, maybe they'll be more excited with something live action.
That, you know, for that era, Pinocchio had quite a bit of oomph to it. Yeah, I feel like, but this one is a little bit more oomfier. I will give it that. However, it did nothing new. I guess I still give it a face. I didn't. It was fair. Okay. There's things I liked. I liked the stuff between Pinocchio and Geppetto. You know, that felt a little bit more of like a bond, and that's probably thanks to Tom Hanks. But obviously, because he's either
fucking Tom Hanks.
Either holding the block of wood or there's nothing there at all.
Right. And you know, the one thing I really absolutely hated was at the end when Pinocchio and Geppetto meet again when they're sailing across the ocean towards each other. Well, Pinocchio's jet skiing, but that doesn't matter.
That's right.
It's really annoying because Geppetto asks Pinocchio, "Where have you been?" And Pinocchio, literally, I'm not kidding you, spends the next minute and a half describing the entire plot of the film you just watched.
It's like,
no, do not do that in your film ever. That was so annoying. It was so stupid. And it was all for one silly joke for Geppetto to be like, whoa, that's more adventure than I've had in a day. And it's like, motherfucking Geppetto, you just literally sold everything your entire life and went out into a boat on the ocean to find a kid that made of wood. You've had an exciting day, you dumb motherfucker. Like,
yeah, it did feel like a Tom Hanks joke, though, for some reason.
It really worked. Like, he definitely sold it, but having to sit a minute and a half for the punchline, and for that to be the punchline, I was just like, oh, God damn it.
So, out of these two movies that I would say neither of us really cared for, which one wins? Oh, did I do my closing statement? I might not.
Yeah, you gave it a face and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, then, it's lost. Pinocchio lost to Hocus Pocus 2, I think.
It's a very tough decision because yes, this is a stay or go, but it also kind of works as a genre smackdown for fantasy youthful films that the Green Traveler's not really the target audience for. So it's really hard for me. It's a very niche genre. But I guess I have to give it to Hocus Pocus 2. But honestly, neither of these films I was like really antsy for.
Really. But I think that I would say go watch the original Pinocchio over the live action. And I would say, no, Hocus Pocus didn't need a sequel, but you get to see Bette Midler and the gang do it again. Yeah, and it doesn't like taint the feeling of the original at all. It pretty much gets that mostly okay, mostly right. Yeah. So good job, Hocus Pocus 2. Happy Halloween, everybody! Happy Halloween! Don't summon the Sanderson sisters, and don't lie about being a bad puppet. You know, what the whole message of Hocus Pocus 2 really is don't be a virgin. You know? Don't be a virgin. Go out there, express yourself, find out what you like, tell lies, and step on crickets. I think that's been the show. It's true. It's all true. I'm the Green Traveler from Gorsh. And I am the Faceless Leone. Safe travels, and good night. Green and Faceless on the Couch is a proud production of FictionWorks 19. Are you a fan of the show? Feel free to contact us at greenandfacelessfans@gmail.com or visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/greenandfaceless. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, or rate us on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for listening.